Who do we call when we're in trouble and someone has a knife or a gun?
I wouldn't call the police.
Why wouldn't you call the police?
I don't trust them.
This is Adjunct Professor Salem from Cypress College, and she is ultra, and I mean ultra left-wing. Now, this adjunct professor hates the police, and I mean she really hates the police. So how extreme is this college professor who is teaching children at colleges? How extreme are her views? Well, let's expose them with questions. Here's one question that I think any of us can answer, even a child. Who do we call when we're in trouble and someone has a knife or a gun? Who do we call? Now, this is an easy question. Again, a 5-year-old can answer this question. And I think 99.9% of the public would also answer the question the same way. They would say, you call the police. But listen to this professor's response.
Who do we call when we're in trouble and someone has a knife or a gun?
I wouldn't call the police.
Why wouldn't you call the police?
I don't trust them. My life's in more danger.
Who would you call?
In their presence.
Professor, who would you call?
I wouldn't call anybody.
So now this professor says she wouldn't call anybody. Is that rational? Is that responsible? Is that someone who should be teaching at a college level course? But there's more. So you may say, well, Nate, that's a one-off question. Well, let's talk about this next question. Question for all of you. If someone intruded into your home with a gun, who would you call for help? Again, what would any reasonable person say? How would they answer this question? Now, before we get her answer, I'm going to show you. This is who I'm calling. Now, let's see who this professor is going to call.
What would you have? If someone intruded your house with a gun, would you have a gun on you, or
No.
who would you call?
It's my time to go.
So yes, you heard that right. This woman is saying she'd rather be killed than call the police. And she's teaching this to your children. Insane. Now enter Brandon Ellis. He was a student in the video asking these questions. Now, full transparency, Brandon is MAGA country. This guy is a MAGA Republican. And the debate that they were having was about this kids show called PAW Patrol. Now, for those of you who know what PAW Patrol is, it's a show that has blue-collar workers really as heroes. And there are dogs that represent each particular blue-collar job. So for instance, for fire, you have Marshall, who is the fire dog. You have Chase, who is the police dog, and you have Rubble, who is the construction dog. So this cartoon is introducing children to municipal workers and just everyday blue-collar workers and putting them in a positive light, right? We all love firefighters, thought we all love cops, and we all love construction workers because they have a job to do, and their jobs are very important to our way of life. Now, this professor obviously had an objection to the police dog character because they said the police dog shouldn't be represented in this children's show. Listen to the exchange between the professor and Brandon.
You brought up the police in your speech a few times. So what is your main concern? Since, honestly, the whole reason police, it is systemic. The issue is systemic because the whole reason we have police departments in the first place, where did it stem from? What's our history? Going back to what Jeremy was talking about, what does it stem from? It stems from people in the South wanting to capture runaway slaves.
Maybe they shouldn't be heroes. Maybe they don't belong on a kid's show.
So I disagree with what Jeremy said about it because I think cops are heroes and they have to have a difficult job, but we have to have that
all of
fine
them?
life. Oh, I'd say a good majority of them. You have bad people in every business and every part.
Yeah,
well,
a lot of police officers have committed atrocious crimes and have gotten away with it and have never been convicted of any of it. And I say this as a person who has family members who are police officers.
Yes, I understand. And this is what I believe. This is my opinion. And this is, not popular to say, but I do support our police, and we have bad people, and the people that do bad things should be brought to justice. I agree with that. But I think that, say it again.
They haven't.
Well, I agree with you on that point of they should, right?
Okay, so what is your bottom line point? You're saying police officers should be revered, viewed as heroes. They belong on TV shows with children.
I think they are heroes in a sense because they come to your need and they come and help you, and they have a problem just like every other business, but we should fix that. But I think that they're heroes. Well, they're
I think that's the problem. It's looking at it as a business because they're actually supposed to protect and serve the people.
They do protect us. Who do we call when we're in trouble and someone has a knife or a gun?
I wouldn't call the police.
Why wouldn't you call the police?
I don't trust them. My life's in more danger.
Who would you call?
In their presence.
Professor, who would you call?
I wouldn't call anybody.
Well, would you have, if someone intruded your house with a gun, would you have a gun on you, or
no.
Who would you call?
It's my time to go.
Okay.
So after this college professor's extremist views were exposed for all to see, the college took action and placed this professor on leave and eventually fired her. Here is a quick news report about her being placed on leave.
The school has released a statement, part of it reading, Cypress College takes great pride in fostering a learning environment for students where ideas and opinions are exchanged. And any efforts to suppress free and respectful expression on our campus will not be tolerated. The teacher involved has not been identified, but we are told she will not be back next fall. That's the very latest here in Cypress. I'm Erin Myers. I'll send it back to you in Hollywood.
So then in response to her being fired, the teacher essentially released a hit video against the student. Yes, the teacher released a hit video against the student. Check it out.
But wait. It's easy to paint Braden as an innocent victim of what he calls cancel culture. But cancel culture is really consequence culture. For example, here he is holding up the white power symbol while wearing MAGA gear.
So this professor is trying to destroy the student's reputation, calling him a straight up racist. And again, the proof is he has this picture with the white power sign and a Trump shirt on. Now, you would think that since this is a left-wing issue, you wouldn't really have any threats of violence, but no. There were threats of violence. Quote, the Inside Higher Ed reports, several days later, the college temporarily limited on-campus operations, citing a threat directed at the campus community. So they were threatening to hurt people on campus. And then the college said its information technology department would continue to monitor attempts to compromise our technology security. So they started trying to hack the college because the college said these extremist views were not appropriate for our students. So what do? Threaten to harm the school and try to hack down their systems. And they say the right is violent? Well, this seems pretty violent to me. So at the end of the day, how do you feel about California Cypress College's decision to fire this adjunct professor? Do you think it's an attack on academic freedom? Or do you think it was the right thing to do based on her extremist views? Let me know in the comments section. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.